Good morning, friends. I hope everyone is doing well. I request everyone to watch my videos in a sequence for better understanding. In the earlier video, we have discussed one example for converting a context free grammar to a Chomsky normal form. For a better understanding, I have taken another example and will convert this context free grammar, CFG context free grammar, to Chomsky normal form, so that if you have any doubts or if you are facing any problem of converting a context free grammar to Chomsky normal form, I think you can understand with this example. Okay, all those doubts will be cleared if you have any of them. Now they have given set of productions and they have even mentioned what are the variables are there and what are the terminals, and you have a epsilon. Hope it is looking like an epsilon. Okay, is it clear? Anyway, if it is not looking, I am telling that it is an epsilon. Let's start the process. What is the step 1? Now first you need to tell when we can say that a grammar is in the CNF or Chomsky normal form. If S is a start symbol, epsilon is allowed. Otherwise, a variable should determine a terminal or a variable should determine exactly two variables. Then only I can say that the given grammar is in CNF. Otherwise, it is not there. If you see that some of the productions in this grammar are not in CNF. The example is this one, and even this one. Epsilon is also not possible because A is not a start symbol. Only if A is a start symbol, it would have been allowed. Even this is also not there. So I can say that the given grammar is a context free grammar. However, it is not in CNF. Now we will do the conversion process. What is the step 1? If your start symbol, S is a start symbol, if it is there in the right hand side, you need to take a new start symbol and assign it to old start symbol. However, if you see that S is not there in the right hand side, then I no need to do. If it is there only I have to do, so it is not there. So then what should I do? What is the second step? I need to remove the epsilon productions and unit productions. So what are the epsilon productions are there? Epsilon production is A determines epsilon alone is there. Now if A determines epsilon is there, we need to eliminate it. Now in the process of elimination, we will try to identify wherever capital A is there in the right hand side. If you see that capital A is there here and here. So you take those two productions. S determines AA, B determines AA. So these are the two productions having the variable called A. So in place of A, you keep epsilon. It will be A concatenated with epsilon. A concatenated with epsilon is A only. So you will get S determines A production and then B determines small a production you will get. So these are the two extra productions you will get in place of A if you keep epsilon. So add those productions. B determines A, okay, and S determines A. Already S determines A is there. We no need to add because see again already A. If it likes like A determines A or A. What is the meaning of A determines A? A can able to generate A. What is meant by A or A? Even it can generate A or A. It is simply A determines A. So you can eliminate this one. Even it is not an extra production because already that production is there. That's what I want to say. If it is an extra production, then you add it. Already S determines small a is already available. So you no need to add it. Okay. Then you can eliminate, after adding those productions, you can eliminate this epsilon production. Okay. So we are done with epsilon productions or null productions. Then we will take the unit productions. Let me write the entire one here. S determines A or AA or B. B determines A, BB. B determines A or B or A. Now if you see that what is meant by unit production, if you have any production is in the form of A determines B, where A is a variable and B is also variable, such kind of productions we will call them as unit productions. Now we need to identify those productions and we will eliminate them. Okay. Now if you see that we have S determines B, one production is there, and then that's all. Anything else is there? S determines small a is not a unit production. Even this is not a unit production. This is a unit production. So I have taken. and it is not a unit production, and it is also not a consists of any unit productions. So S determines B is only one unit production is there in the given grammar. Then what should I do? I have to eliminate that one. How I will eliminate is that S can able to determine B. S can able to determine B, and B can able to determine A, B or A. Meaning is that S can indirectly determine A, B, A. So if I eliminate this B, I cannot able to determine indirectly them. So if I cannot able to determine indirectly, let me determine directly. If I remove the S determines B, in place of the B, what are the productions are there? You keep them. Are you able to understand it or not? It is very simple process. In the last video also I have discussed. Okay, if you have A determines B is there, B determines some terminal is there. If you want to eliminate the A determines B, how you will eliminate? From A you can determine B, from B you can determine a small a. If you eliminate this A determines B, then you cannot able to determine A determines A. Am I right or wrong? Then we have to write it as A determines small a in place of A determines B. That is what I have done. Okay. Now if you see that we don't have any unit productions. So null productions we have eliminated, unit productions also we have eliminated. So step 2 is done. Now we will start the step 3. What is the step 3? If you have A determines B1, B2, so on, Bn is there, where n is greater than 2, then what you will make? You will make it as A determines B1C, and C you will make it as B2 so on Bn. If still n is greater than 2, you will repeat the same process. Am I right or wrong? So the example is, if you have A determines B, C, D, you have 3 variables. So your B and C and D are the variables. Then what you will do? A determines B, A dash determines C, D. That's all. So now if you see that this is in the CNF, even it is in the CNF. So we need to identify such productions. Okay. Now if you see, this is not having, even it is also not having, it is also not having, this is also not having. No. So we no need to apply the step 3. Am I right? It does not having any, but here you can say that it is A, B, B. That is separate. We will do later. Okay. So it is not in the form of all the variables. Here you have a terminal. So you cannot apply the step 3 for this production. Now you no need to apply the step 3. Okay. Now we will go for the step 4. The step 4 is that if you have A determines AC, where A is a terminal, this A is a variable and C is a variable, then what we have to do? We have to take A determines B and C, B determines A new production. Now it is in the CNF, this is also in the CNF, because see, I can directly get this one by this one. In place of capital B, if I keep A, I will get the production. So it is correct. So we will do this step 4. What is the step 4? So according to the step 4, this is creating problem. See the productions which are creating such problems. A and A is there. Okay. Now we will come to this A and A later. Okay. Now even it is also creating problem. S determines A, B is there. Okay. And B, this is also having. So first we have this one. So what I can do is that I will take S determines X A and X determines A. Now it is in the CNF, even it is in the CNF. So what I will do is that I will take a new production called X determines A. X determines A. In place of this A, I will keep an X. In place of this A, I will keep an X. Even if you see that, now think it. In place of this A also, if I keep X, will it create any problem? No. In place of this A, if I create an X, will it create any problem? No. So either it is in the form of like this or it is in the form of this one, we will follow the same step. Am I right or wrong? Now you see, we will see whether anything we have done with the step 4. Now anything is creating the problem or not. This is in the CNF. This is also in the CNF. This is also in the form of CNF. This. But however, if you see that this is not in the CNF because you have more than 2 variables in the right hand side, and even it is in the proper form. It is also in the proper form. This is also. So only this one is not there in the CNF. So what we have to do, again we have to apply the step 3. So that's what you have to look at. Repeat the steps. That's what I was telling. Okay. Now you take the A determines XBB. Okay. Are you able to understand? Then what you will do? You will take Y as BB. Okay. And keep the Y here. That's all. So what I have done, in place of BB, I will keep a Y. Y determines a BB, and this A determines XBB will be becomes as X and Y. Now we will see whether all the productions are there in the CNF or not. Previously we have identified that it is in the CNF. You can see that a variable determines a terminal is okay. A variable determines variable. Even this is also variable, terminal. So everything is okay. So this is proper. A variable determines a variable, allowed. Variable determines variable, allowed. Variable determines a terminal, allowed. So it is okay. A variable determines a terminal is allowed. Variable determines variable is allowed in the CNF. So I can say that this entire CFG I have converted into an equivalent CNF form. So I hope with this example you have understood how to convert a context-free grammar to a Chomsky normal form. If you still have any doubts, feel free to ask it in the comment section. I will clear all your doubts in less than 24 hours. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope you really enjoy my videos. If you really like them and if you feel that you are learning new things, then please press the like button, share the videos with your friends and subscribe to my channel for regular updates. Thank you so much.